Hey everyone, welcome back to Fruition Garden. So in this video, I just wanted to harvest a few squash, maybe like 2 that are super huge, and I wanted to film it. So I'm gonna go and get my gloves from over here. I've also been doing some seeding. So I planted some green beans. I also planted some more honey nut squash. And I harvested a few tomatoes, and these are some heirloom cherry tomatoes that seeded themselves from last year. And then I have some Egyptian walking onions. I'll show you how the plant looks. It's really cool the way it grows. These were in the ground for about 3 years, and each year the onion gets bigger and bigger. And so I decided to pull it up from the root this year, and this is what I got. Also going to be planting more cucumbers and things, but I have to clear stuff out before I do that. So let's head on up here. Actually, before I harvest the squash, I wanted to show you all a few very pleasant surprises that I found in the garden. Number one, my melon plant here had a gigantic melon growing that I did not notice until a couple of days ago, which is really crazy. I can't believe I didn't notice it. So this is the name of it, Petite Grise de Venin, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. But look at this melon. What in the world? This was growing underneath this bush, so I did not see it, and this bush is kind of beat up right now, but it had lots of yellow leaves on it at first, so it was hiding this melon perfectly. And I just happened to be in this area because I was finding, I was trying to see if there were any melons coming on that I could bag. And I saw this huge melon. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. It's pretty big. And it looks like it's probably, I honestly don't know if it's ripe yet, but I'm looking at the tendril, which is this squiggly green stem or vine that comes off of the stem, and it's definitely turning brown, as you can see. So it's starting to shrivel up. I also see like little, they could be scratch marks or they could just be like scabbing, but that's definitely an indication of ripeness. But I do want to let it like sit here for a couple more days, because what I also read was that the best way to know if a melon is ready is to pick it up and gently kind of like twist it in the opposite direction of the stem, and if it comes off easily, then it's ready. If it doesn't, then it can stay on for a little bit longer. So I don't think we're at that point yet, so I'm gonna let it continue to ripen. But I'm super excited about this. This is so cool. And I'm definitely gonna cut that open and show you all how it looks on the inside when I do harvest it, so stay tuned for that in one of my upcoming videos. And then I also have another one that's growing and getting pretty large. I've never really been successful with growing melons, so I'm really proud of myself that this plant is doing so well. And the key was really to allow the root system to get really well established in the ground. So when I first transplanted the seedling into the soil, it was really hard not to do, but I did not water it. I watered it once really well, and then I just didn't water it, and I let the rain do all the work. So because we were getting rain, not super frequently, but a decent amount of rain, I just didn't water the plant at all, even though it was really hard at times, because I wanted to encourage the roots to go as deep into the ground as possible to reach for the water source, because the lower the roots go, the more likely they will find water. And I think that really paid off, because it's been very dry, but this plant is doing really well, and the leaves look really healthy, and it's also getting super long. So really excited about that, and I'm super excited about this melon. And if you want to have great skin that ages gracefully, you should eat lots and lots of things in the melon family. That includes cucumbers, cantaloupe, watermelon, all of the above. Very, very good for the skin, and they'll keep you young and vibrant. Another little surprise that I noticed was underneath this chair. We have Long Island cheese growing. It actually looks like it's mixed with a cushaw. So I don't really know what variety this is, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's really exciting that we have a squash growing underneath this chair. And it looks like something did try to scratch at it, but it's not too bad, so I think it'll be fine. And I'm not going to bother covering it. I'm sure the plant has already put out an alert system because something did scratch at it. But yeah. Third surprise is over here. I noticed that my first Desert King watermelon started to grow. So cool. And I probably should water this plant, but we are expecting to get some rain for the next like 7 days. So hopefully starting tomorrow and for the following 6 days, we'll get some nice consistent rain, and the plants are going to really love that. That's the other reason why I'm really trying to get all of my new seeds planted, so that the rain can do all the watering for me in those critical stages of germination. I love when I find random surprises in the garden. Always a blessing, and I'm super excited for that. So now let's go and harvest this humongous squash. Oh, another thing. Look at this. I don't know what this is. It looks like a cross between a Long Island cheese and a butternut. So that's why it has the shape of like a Hubbard squash. But this thing is so huge. And the crazy thing is, I planted this plant in a pile of wood chips that were breaking down. So the soil was low on nitrogen for a while and the plant leaves were a little yellow. But as the roots reached deeper into the ground, it kind of reached that really rich soil that had the broken down wood chips in it. And the plant just took off after that and looks amazing, as you can see. Lots of vines coming out from everywhere. And then like one day I was walking and I just seen this giant squash here. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me cover this because I don't want anything biting into it. It looks like it's starting to turn orange, so that's really awesome. But yeah, so excited for that. Okay, so now we're going to harvest a squash. So this Long Island cheese squash plant is actually planted all the way down there. However, the vines trailed all the way up here and are now vining out all along the pathway. And they even spread into this compost pile that's down here. So some of those roots have really gotten to soak up those nutrients and bring it into the plant. And I think that is the reason for the squash growing so huge on this plant. Look at this squash. This is crazy. It is huge. I really don't think the camera does it justice at all. Like, this is my hands and this is the squash. It is absolutely huge. I'm gonna take it off and harvest it because I see that these little spots that used to be white are now turning yellow. And also there's lots of little squash bugs on the bottom. Let me see if I can maybe come this way so you can get a better view. But there's like a bunch of squash bugs crawling up from underneath. And so I want to harvest it before the squash bugs start to suck all the life out of it. So here we go. Pull this out. Oh my God, you guys, look at this. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. This is the largest squash I've ever grown. Definitely. It's like a giant cheese wheel. So I really understand why it's called the Long Island cheese. Let's not waste any more time and let's harvest this squash. Ooh, I can barely pick it up. Wow, that was super heavy. But we're gonna go take this over to our chair and then we're gonna harvest one more squash. So this vine also is going over to the middle part of the garden area. I noticed another squash growing inside of this. So right around where I have all of my flowers, this is bee balm, this is peppermint, and this is some more bee balm. And look at this giant squash growing here. This one looks like it's gonna be just as big as the other one that I just harvested. And I literally just noticed this. That is so crazy. Squash is a great source of vitamin C, and it also contains fiber, B vitamins, and important minerals such as potassium and magnesium. It contains antioxidants which prevent cellular damage, and it also helps to maintain healthy bones, healthy blood, healthy heart, healthy eyes, and much, much more. This is so much food. This will get you through days and days of dinners. The last thing I wanted to show you all is unrelated to squash, but I want to show you all how the figs are doing. So this is the fig tree right here. Tons of figs all on it. And I noticed the other day that they're starting to ripen. So I bagged some of them so the birds can't get to them. And then some of them I didn't. Look at it. It's turning that deep purple color. And this is what starts to happen when they get ripe. You have birds come and eat them, like that one right there. When I see figs that have been eaten by the birds, it's tempting to take them off, but it's actually better that you don't take them off, because then as the birds continue to come back and feed on it, they'll go to that. They're more likely to go to the one that's already bitten into and not to go into one of your newly ripening figs, because then you'll have a bunch of newly ripe figs that are getting bitten into by a bunch of different birds. But if you leave on the fig that was already bit into, the birds are going to stick with that one until it's gone. So, because of course I won't be able to cover all of these figs as they ripen. And also it's fine for the birds to have some because there's so many on this plant. And I actually seen earlier a cardinal. I wish I would have filmed it, but there was a cardinal that had come to eat some of the figs, and it bypassed all of the ripe ones and went straight to the one that was already bitten into. Because if they really wanted to, they could easily pull this off, but it's so much more work. And even if it wasn't covered, it's so much more work to have to open a whole new fig. So they'll just go to the one that's already open. But that is the fig tree. So that will conclude the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little quick harvest video. Oh, look at the butterfly. I've just been preparing for the fall garden by clearing out some of the areas, like this area here. Cleared out all of the overgrown radishes and things like that that went to seed. And I just cleared it up and then planted some new seeds here. So these are beets. I think those are more beets. And then I have some dill that I planted along there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. We are going to hopefully have a really great fall garden this year. Last year was dedicated to cover cropping, and I still will be doing that. However, I also want to grow some food for the fall as well, because fall gardening is a lot easier, actually, in my opinion, than summer gardening, because there's just less pests and things just seem to grow better because the weather is more temperate. But we'll see. You just never know what you'll get with the weather these days. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Have an awesome day.